in LA this week.
A lot of people are not going to be able to celebrate Christmas this year. So doing this with all of these partnerships, I think is going to be a very good thing for the community.
So our shoes are donated from Nike. We have a long-time partnership with them, and we're very thankful. They've donated over 3,000 pairs of shoes this year.
So the holiday celebration, we're proud to say, is in its 61st year. It started as far back as 1959, but it's been at the Music Center since 1964.
Hello everyone, I'm Natalia Bilbao. Here's what's happening in LA this week. There is a new shuttle service being introduced by LA Metro called Metro Micro. All you need is the app on your phone, money on your tap card, and you're ready to ride.
So LA Metro is our regional transportation organization, and we operate a number of services such as the bus and rail that you might take. We're also launching new services that are on demand, such as Metro Micro. Metro Micro is a new service. It's a ride-hailing service, and so it is a fleet of cars that are smaller than buses, and they'll help you on short trips in your neighborhood to get to grocery stores, to the pharmacy, to doctor's appointments. We were focused actually from the start on essential trips, not knowing that a pandemic was around the corner, but we're really glad to now have this as a new service that we can offer to customers. We launched in 2 areas this past Sunday in the communities of Watts Willowbrook and LAX Inglewood. So those are our first 2 zones. In January, we're planning to stand up an additional 3 zones. That includes El Monte, North Hollywood, Burbank, and Compton, Artesia. It is a shared ride service. That being said, we're trying to be very careful due to COVID-19. One of the practices that we're going to be implementing with Metro Micro is requiring people to wear masks. We also have plexiglass barriers in the cars. For our Dodge Grand Caravan, we'll only accept 2 people riding together at a time. And in the case of our Ford Transit 150, it'll be a maximum of 5 people, unless they're part of the same family or household. Due to the impact that the pandemic has had on our communities and certainly on our riders, we have come in with a recommendation of an introductory rate. For the first 6 months of operation, all rides in the zone are $1, and that introductory rate applies for 6 months of operation for each of these zones. So anyone that has a tap card that has stored value of at least $1 can ride Metro Micro. For Metro Micro, you can download an app. You can find it online at the Google or Apple store and type in the keywords Metro Micro. You can also go to our website in the case that you don't have a smartphone, and that's metro.net/micro. Or you can call our call center, which is 323-GO-METRO.
To ride Metro Micro, face masks are required, just like all travel and Metro public transit. A Westside organization is looking out for the homeless community. In February 2020, West LA Homeless set out on a mission to provide aid to those in most need, and the work continues.
So we're a new organization that was formed in February of 2020. We are raising money to engage social workers to work in our area with the homeless population. We're doing a clothing drive today to collect items for our social workers to distribute to the community, and also that we will be distributing to the homeless community to so that the community can learn about us, that we're here. And we're just getting started. We're hoping to launch our program in early 2021.
We're focusing on West LA and trying to make sure that we make a difference in our own neighborhood. Other areas of the city get a lot more attention for the homeless than we do. So that's why we want to put our own outreach social workers on the street in West LA to be able to accomplish the goal of making sure they get the same kind of services and find out what's all available in LA County, which is very extensive.
This movement is so needed. I mean, we have had, the homeless situation has only gotten worse over the years, not from the pandemic didn't help, but before that. And what we needed, which the city hasn't been able to provide for whatever reason, what we need is a group like this that will go out and talk with the people. So if we can break it down into small groups and work within your own community, I think then we can finally make a little dent into what is going on and do it with kindness and with respect, because they are people that need our respect.
We definitely have support from the community. It's been incredible to do this drive. We just mostly need financial support at this point so that we can get the social workers out into the field working with the population.
It's time for this week's edition of Angelenos Give Back. Team Zedillo, with the help of LAPD, distributes food in District 1, and Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez teamed up with Hispanic Star to assist residents in her district with hygiene products. Check this out.
So today we're having a drive-through produce distribution in the Pico Union area. We're out here by Toberman Park. Our families in District 1 and specifically in this community, Pico Union, are facing the situation where they have to either go out to food banks and find where they can get produce. So we want to make sure we're bringing it to them.
This event today here for the Los Angeles Police Department is just to interact with the community, have a lot of community engagement, and be able to let them know that we're here for them during this pandemic situation. When you see people that have been lined up here since 6 a.m. when the distribution doesn't start until like 10 or 11, it clearly demonstrates the amount of need that there is within the community.
Beneficia porque necesito comida. Muchas de las familias que están aquí tienen más de un niño o tienen familia que están enfermos.
I really think it's very helpful because there's a lot of families out there that don't have these opportunities in their community.
I'm so grateful. I mean, I'm really, really grateful because besides my husband, this is the only place I could go and get something to eat, or, you know, they're offering us a lot of stuff.
So para las familias que no pudieron llegar hoy o que no se enteraron, pueden visitar nuestra página de Facebook, Councilmember Gil Zedillo, y también pueden chequear Instagram, se pueden meter a la página del concejal.
Thank you so much for making events like this. It helps a lot of families like mine.
This morning we've partnered once again with Hispanic Star to help do distribution of toiletries and many of those necessary household items that are going to help families get through these difficult times. I was very proud to partner with Hispanic Star several months ago when we came together with a number of different manufacturers, Procter & Gamble. A lot of manufacturers were donating these items, and it enabled us to put it together and help do distributions in my community. We've done well over 1,000 even preceding this event, and so I'm glad to be a partner with them to do it again here in Sylmar.
Que es muy bueno porque ayuda a las personas necesitadas como nosotros, que a veces no tenemos los recursos o el trabajo que nos alcance el dinero para lo que nos regalan aquí, que es muy buena ayuda.
We have been just working nonstop to get our community connected to the resources that they need. They struggle enough even before the pandemic, and so helping to provide these additional supplemental resources is critical.
I lost my job. It's very stressful. I can't pay my bills sometimes, and my kids are affected by it really bad. I want to say thank you and God bless you guys. This is going to help out a lot of people, and we really appreciate it.
La verdad, pues mal, porque pues mi esposo casi no trabaja, entonces esto que nos van a dar es una gran ayuda que ya me ayuda a mí para mi familia.
I'm hopeful that the holidays might present that opportunity for everyone to really reflect on how interconnected we are, that the decisions that you make as an individual can either further jeopardize us or help get us away from this pandemic.
You guessed it. We have a double dose of Angelino's Give Back. The LAPD Harbor Division delivers smiles to kids and families at a holiday drop-off. Then the LAPD Rampart Division gets in on the action with a grab-and-go event. Enjoy.
So we've had this version of this holiday event called Helping Badge. This is our 15th year. And this year it looks a lot different from the prior years because of what's happening with the COVID pandemic. And so this year, Helping Badge is a no-contact delivery.
Today we're going to deliver toys to families that we believe are in need, that were nominated by our Senior Lead Office community members as well as the schools. Thank God that we have the necessary resources, the LAPD included, in this community that can go out and provide services to these families.
Eventos como esto, por supuesto que hace que la comunidad acerque a la policía. Yo recibo llamadas de las familias que ayudamos el año pasado. Nos vuelven a hablar por teléfono para ver si vamos a tener el evento, si vamos a dar regalos, especialmente durante estas épocas y durante esta pandemia que tenemos. Hay más familias que hablan por teléfono para ver cómo nosotros le podemos ayudar o si sabemos de recursos.
I'm really thankful because we went through a lot of things. Me not having a job, it was great, and thank to God too, and the police officers too, because they're asking for gifts and it was impossible for me to give them gifts. So I'm really thankful.
Thank you for giving us presents.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Esto para mí significa una cosa, una bendición de parte de ellos, para mis hijos, porque van a tener sus regalos en este año por la pandemia, que no tenemos lo suficiente para darles lo que ellos querían.
Very humbling experience. You know, you just never know when you're gonna make someone's day brighter, just with small gifts. We're just happy to just bring a smile to their face after everything they have gone through this year.
We really couldn't do this without community support. And so we appreciate everything that people are doing to kind of help uplift families in this time of need.
El día de hoy estamos dando despensa a la comunidad y cosas esenciales. Estamos aquí junto con todos nuestros colaboradores. Nosotros reconocemos que ahorita estamos en unos tiempos bastante difíciles y esta es una manera de nosotros dejarles saber a la comunidad que estamos juntos con ellos durante estos tiempos difíciles y para apoyarlos y para también tomar ese tiempo de convivir con ellos lo mucho y lo poco que se pueda.
Estamos dando vegetales, comida enlatada, comida lista para cocinar y estamos esperando más de 1,000 personas que beneficien de esta comunidad.
The Rampart PAL, Rampart Crow, and Senior Lead Office, they do a tremendous job working with the citizens of the community here. And this is just a testament to their efforts. We have a lot of people that want to work with the community and help out the community. All these people here are volunteering their time. The companies are obviously donating all this food. And, you know, even a few companies got together and I guess to put together a few gifts for any children that may show up to provide a little something for them for under the tree.
I see the kids here. They have joy. They're all jumping up and down. Like, we're getting toys. A lot of people are not going to be able to celebrate Christmas this year. So doing this with all of these partnerships, I think is going to be a very good thing for the community.
Si requieren ayuda en el Distrito 1, llamar a la oficina del concejal a 213-434-4054.
¡Feliz Navidad a toda la gente! Bienvenidos aquí a recoger todos los víveres para que pasen una bonita Navidad y a todos los niños para que cogen su juguete y pasen una noche buena, muy bonita en familia.
Mayor Garcetti announces a new grocery initiative for the holidays. A new traffic signal makes CD9 safer. And Councilmember Vizcaíno delivers the CD15 State of the District. These stories up next on City Beat.
In light of the stall on federal stimulus aid, Mayor Eric Garcetti has sounded a call for donations to help Angelenos during the holiday season. The new donation drive is called Given, the Grocery Initiative for Vital Emergency Needs, and aims to provide thousands of Angelenos in need with a $300 cash card that will enable them to buy food and other essentials during an extraordinarily difficult holiday season. This latest campaign is part of the mayor's Fund for Los Angeles.
It's been seeded with $550,000 from the Mayor's Fund, and I thank the Mayor's Fund for Los Angeles. But we aim to grow this to $3 million to help 10,000 Angeleno families, representing tens of thousands of Angelenos.
Councilmember Curran Price flipped the switch for a new four-way traffic signal just installed on the corner of 67th Street and South Broadway. The installation is a much-needed addition to this busy corner in an effort to reduce accidents and increase safety for Bethune Middle School. The new signal is part of Mayor Garcetti's 2015 Vision Zero program, implemented to eliminate traffic fatalities.
The purpose of this signal is to improve the pedestrian safety and reduce the traffic collisions that was a major issue at this intersection.
We need to make sure that we have a safe environment for our kids, for our families, and for the businesses.
Councilmember Joe Buscaino delivered his 2020 CD15 State of the District address from the historic Warner Grand Theater in San Pedro. The councilmember's address highlighted progress and initiatives, all transformed in some way by the COVID-19 pandemic. He recognized COVID heroes from Council District 15, organizations that went the extra mile in providing community support during the pandemic. Councilmember Buscaino discussed his work in City Council that resulted in a rent moratorium, small business support, and protections for delivery and grocery workers.
May this pandemic inspire all of us to always bring the swiftest relief to our most vulnerable, not just during a crisis. It's not easy, but it's an important duty.
Check out the full video at facebook.com/Joe Buscaino.
Councilmember Buscaino is not the only council member keeping a watchful eye on the continuing homeless crisis. Bob Bloomingfield zoomed by to talk about an ongoing cabin community project in his district.
I do spend a lot of time going out with outreach workers to the different encampments in my district so that I know the people who are homeless in the 3rd District. I know a lot of folks, and I've heard their stories, and I have a real sense, you know, and the people who are here, particularly in the West Valley, are here because they have some connection to the West Valley. That they're, you know, it gets to be 120 degrees out here. No one's going to just come here for kicks. There's a reason. Their daughter or their son, who they're not allowed to see anymore, lives here, or their estranged spouse is nearby, or their parents. You know, there's some connection, or they grew up here. Talking to these folks of what would it take to get them off the street, and for a lot of folks, really, the most important thing is housing. You know, they don't have housing, so the idea is to build not just the traditional shelter where people come in and they get kicked out in the morning, and it really is nothing but a short-term shelter for the night, but transitional housing. And these cabin communities offer that opportunity to have a transitional house that is something to get someone who's been on the street, off the street, get them sort of acclimated to living indoors again, and in an area where they can receive services.
Our units are actually constructed by people with lived experience in homelessness who are currently or previously homeless themselves. So we are providing jobs to people that are marginalized within our community, and we really value their input in the design. And we know that the design works because they themselves have told us this is what they would have needed as they were exiting homelessness themselves.
This is an ongoing issue, and we are working closely with the community to try not only to ease people's fears and concerns, but to work with the community to make sure that those fears are not realized, and to make sure that these cabins that are going into communities become a positive part of the community and not something to be feared.
It's another great annual cause, retrofitted because of the pandemic. Volunteers with Students Run LA recently gathered to prepare, sort, and deliver donations from Nike and Bomba socks to kids in their community.
shoe distribution. We are handing out shoes, sunglasses, socks, and finisher medals for our students. We do this annually. Every year we get a shoe donation from Nike for each of our students.
Somos un programa que ayudamos a los estudiantes de la área de Los Ángeles a alcanzar metas que pueden ser inalcanzables. Tenemos más de 500 maestros que son voluntarios y toman los estudiantes y los entrenan a correr un maratón y por medio aprenden a hacer metas de largo plazo.
A big reason why SRLA is here to equip the students is because the students that we're aiming to help and support and we're trying to challenge is because yes, this is either a low-income school, so yeah, a big part of it has to do that these kids cannot really afford, the parents can't really afford them to properly equip them for an amazing challenge that they're going to do. And right now, things are different specifically because of COVID. Usually we have a long line, we show up, we go in as a group and pick up the shoes as a group. So today we're doing it in waves per hour, right? And so, yeah, that's kind of how we're structuring it today.
So our shoes are donated from Nike. We have a long-time partnership with them, and we're very thankful. They've donated over 3,000 pairs of shoes this year. We also this year have donated socks from Bombas. These socks will keep our students running and protect their feet. And all of our students and our leaders benefit from this. So each student who's running today will get a pair of shoes as well as their leaders. We are a nonprofit. We are supported by our community and local partnerships. There's tons of ways to get involved, to volunteer, to run with us, and those opportunities are all available on our website, which is srla.org.
The Music Center in downtown Los Angeles is gearing up for its 61st holiday show, put on each year for LA residents. And since the in-person festivities are a no-go this year, plans are in the works to make the celebration's broadcast even more magical.
So the holiday celebration, we're proud to say, is in its 61st year. It started as far back as 1959, but it's been at the Music Center since 1964. And that was when Dorothy Chandler asked then Supervisor Kenneth Hahn for support for building the Music Center. And he said, okay, but you have to do the holiday celebration every year. She said yes, and that was 61 years ago. The one big change for us is that we don't get to have people here. One of the most beautiful things about the holiday celebration every year is that we have people lining up to see the show live. However, at the same time, we always broadcast it. So the bulk of the people that get to see it, we're always watching from their homes anyway. And given that it is a time of the pandemic, and we felt like we, even more than normal, we needed to bring people together and give them the hope and the joy that this show inspires.
Bueno, para nosotros es un honor poder estar en la compañía de otras y otros artistas y que nos invitaron a nosotros que podemos compartir este escenario con otros artistas de aquí de Los Ángeles y nos da mucho gusto poder representar nuestra música y nuestra cultura.
We really hope you'll join us on our new take on an annual tradition in LA County, the holiday celebration, which is going to feature 22 different beautiful music and dance performers from all over LA County for 3 hours, starting at 3 o'clock on Christmas Eve and again rebroadcast on Christmas Day.
He has called the homelessness crisis the defining moral conflict of our time. He's held seats in the California State Assembly, the State Senate, and the LA County Board of Supervisors. Now he continues his public service for the city of Los Angeles. For our feature story this week, we welcome Mark Ridley Thomas to the LA City Council.
I've been blessed to be in public office for now some 3 decades. Civil rights work, the experience of being a decision maker, policy maker, bring all of that to bear for the benefit of the people of the 10th District and by extension, the people of the city of Los Angeles. I love the diversity of CD10. It is an asset, and Los Angeles would be smart to view diversity as its asset. There is no shortage of issues to bring people together to work on, ranging from the environment to public safety, the arts. The issue that drives me at this particular point in time is that of homelessness, hands down. And when you think about homelessness, it is properly described a couple of ways. One, a crisis within a crisis. The overall crisis now being that of the pandemic, but the underlying crisis is homelessness, in my view. It is the defining moral issue of our time. We have to roll up our sleeves and go to work like never before. I take my oath seriously. Being in public service as an elected official is an honorable pursuit. I will give this assignment all that I have. There's a lot of common ground to be worked through, and I think we'll find more commonality than we will diversity if we choose to work together. And that's the stuff of which leadership is made.
Councilmember Mark Ridley Thomas previously served on the Los Angeles City Council from 1991 to 2002, representing the 8th District. His election win in 2020 marks a return to City Hall representing the 10th District. The 40th Annual Black Doll Show goes online. Try out Monday Meditation or check out the Latin American Cinemateca Student Film Festival. All of this up next on Virtual Things to Do.
William Grant Still Art Center invites you to check out its annual Black Doll Show, All Dolled Up, a 40-year celebration. This is one of the longest-running displays of black dolls in Los Angeles. The show will roll out with 3 themes and premieres online December 2020 and will run through February 21st, 2021. This community tradition honors the diversity and uniqueness of the black community through an exhibition of historical, artistic, and commercial black dolls. Enjoy the artistry and culture of the 40th Annual Black Doll Show. Visit the William Grant Still Art Center website at wgsac.wordpress.com/blackdollshow2020. Brought to you online via the Edendale Branch Library, it's Meditation with the Los Angeles Public Library. Begin your week with a focus on health and wellness. Explore mindfulness, visualization, breathwork, and inspiration led by Don Cadora, meditation coach and official meditation teacher for Los Angeles Public Libraries. Be sure to take time out Mondays at noon for Meditation with Don Cadora. Email eden@lapl.org for the Zoom link and participation details. Latin American Cinemateca of Los Angeles presents the 13th Annual LACLA Student Film Festival. This student film festival honors the creative work of our inner-city, middle, and high school students. The online festival will showcase 10 finalists, and winners will be selected for Best Film, Most Creative, and Best Social Impact. The festival will be available on the LACLA website and will remain online indefinitely. To get viewing, visit www.lacla.org/SFF2020. And that's a look at some virtual things to do.
That's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao. From all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.